Hi, welcome to 2020 Virtual Tennessee Small Farm Expo. My name is Baysal Gurel. I'm a woody ornamental pathologist at Tennessee State University Otis Floyd Nursery Research Center located in McMinnville, Tennessee. I will be talking about boxwood blight disease today. Widely used in both formal and more casual gardens, boxwoods are one of the most popular evergreen shrubs in landscape design. Boxwood production is very important in the United States with annual sales value of $126 million. Boxwood crops in Tennessee account for a significant portion of nursery production with $4 million in sales annually. Boxwood blight was first observed in the United Kingdom and New Zealand in the mid-1990s. And boxwood blight was first observed in the United States in 2011 by plant pathologists in Connecticut and North Carolina in nurseries and landscape settings. In 2020, confirmed states number reached to additional 26 states and also District of Columbia in the United States. This emerging disease is affecting all stakeholders in the horticultural chain, from growers to consumers and all citizens who cherish historic gardens. The disease quickly destroys entire boxwood crops at production nurseries and disfigures gardens, resulting in a huge economic loss in production and also in the landscape conditions. For instance, one southern retail center lost over $500,000 of boxwood inventory in 2018 due to their purchase of diseased boxwood stocks. Similar losses occurred at several wholesale nurseries in the Northeast and Northwest United States in 2019. And also the disease severely disfigured some of the historical gardens. Two Colonectria species, Colonectria pseudomaniculata and Colonectria henricotia, cause boxwood blight in Europe. But only Colonectria pseudomaniculata is in the United States. The pathogen can infect all growth stages of boxwood plants, and the disease results in defoliation and decline of susceptible boxwoods. And this fungus spreads over short and long distances. Once introduced to a landscape or production site, boxwood blight is very difficult and costly to manage. On February 4, 2018, the Tennessee Department of Agriculture implemented a quarantine to restrict movement of all boxwood and sarcococca plant material into the state. Regulated material will include any boxwood plant or sarcococca plant or material and any equipment shipping container that has been exposed to boxwood or sarcococca plants or materials. Under the quarantine, regulated materials may be brought into the state only if accompanied by a phytosanitary certificate and compliance agreement for boxwood cleanliness from the state of origin. Within the boxes genus, some species, varieties, and cultivars are more susceptible than others. Colonectria pseudomaniculata also infects additional plants in the boxes, namely Pachysandra and sweetbox. In a recent study, several common ground covers and boxwood companion plants were also identified as susceptible to Colonectria pseudomaniculata infection under controlled lab conditions. These newly identified hosts have the potential to carry Colonectria pseudomaniculata from infested nurseries to new locals. They are yet to be added to the quarantine protocols and the boxwood blight cleanliness programs instituted by the National Plant Board. Both Colonectria species produce sticky conidia as infective spores that allow dispersal, so local spread is mostly through the short distance, through the rain or irrigation water, wind, plant debris, contaminated tools and equipment, workers, and animals. And long-distance movement can be happen through the contaminated plant and cuttings, including boxwood greenery used for holiday decorations. Boxwood blight persists as mycelium in infected leaves left on the soil surface or on those buried in the soil for at least 5 years. Conidia of pseudomaniculata can remain viable in soil for 3 weeks. Microsclerotia were shown to survive for at least 40 weeks at optimal conditions in soil. When the environmental conditions are favorable, microsclerotia produce new mycelium and new lesions can be observed within 1 week. The fungal pathogen gains leaf entry through stomatal openings and not by direct penetration of the cuticle. Warm, humid, and shady conditions favor disease development, and infection is favored at between 64 to 77 Fahrenheit. Here I demonstrated the boxwood blight risk map, which is available. This forecasting model is available as an Android and iOS app, and also as a mobile-friendly web version, and a full web version is available, which helps us to determine the risk areas in the country. Boxwood blight symptoms are reddish brown to brown, concentric circular spots with tan to light brown centers, and those are visible on infected leaves. Another symptom is angular diamond shape, dark brown to black lesions on stems. Boxwood blight may result leaf spots and defoliations on the plants. Several pictures I will be sharing with you to familiarize you with the symptoms. Again, leaf spots and defoliations. Leaf spots and defoliations, severe defoliations actually on the plants, and dieback under disease-conducive conditions. During favorable conditions, the fungus sporulates and produces white spore masses on the underside of the leaves and stem that are visible to the naked eye. Couple of other images to share with you: sporulation of the fungus on the foliage, defoliated foliage, and sporulation on a twig, which you can observe with naked eye. Boxwood blight management starts with purchasing boxwood plants from the suppliers or nurseries that have been inspected by the state's Department of Agriculture and found to be apparently free from boxwood blight and hold a boxwood blight cleanliness program compliance agreement. Careful inspections need to be done prior to and also after the purchase of the host plant material. Scouting and early diagnosis of infected plants is critical for the avoidance of boxwood blight disease spread and the implementation of effective disease control strategies. If the plant is symptomatic, contact the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. Newly purchased plants should be isolated from existing boxwood, sweetbox, and spruce plantings or holding or production areas for at least 1 month by a minimum of 10 feet distance from the other plants. During the isolation period, fungicide applications are not recommended since the fungicide treatments can suppress symptom development and mask proper diagnosis. In particular, moderately tolerant or tolerant cultivars need to be inspected carefully during this period since they may carry the pathogen without obvious symptoms. Blocking the plants using 10 feet distance between the blocks or separating the boxwood blocks with another non-host is critical. Ensure good air circulation in plantings by providing adequate spacing between plants in nursery. Good drainage system in the holding or production area is very important. Prevent runoff from the one holding or production block to the another one. Proper irrigation can reduce disease spread. Drip irrigation is better than overhead irrigation as it supplies water to the root system of the plant without the potential of spreading the disease through splashing. And gardening experts recommend that boxwood be shaped with a convex rather than a flat top to aid the canopy in shading water. Right planning for the landscape design is very important. Planting non-host plants next to each other, it will be critical, and mulching at the base of plants reduces the reinfection from dropped leaves too. Using boxwood greenery for holiday decoration is not recommended in close proximity to landscape boxwood plantings or boxwood production areas. Homeowners who had holiday decorations using boxwood should dispose them in sealed double bags in a landfill. Boxwood greenery should not be placed in a compost pile. Once infected plants are detected, they should be destroyed immediately to reduce the potential for spread of the disease. Along with the plants, including root systems, leaf and stem debris should be removed from the landscape because the pathogen can survive for a long time, as I mentioned previously, up to 5 years in plant debris. Before leaf debris has been blown by wind, buried by erosion, or begun to decompose, flaming the soil surfaces with a propane push flamer and using leaf vacuum can significantly reduce levels of inocula of boxwood blight in the upper layer of soil. Those are a couple examples how to do the flaming and also usage the leaf vacuum to clean up. Don't work in boxwood blight suspected areas when the plants are wet, and wear clean disposable booties and coveralls and dispose of the booties and coveralls before entering other boxwood areas. Don't go from areas of known infections to areas where infections have not been seen. Sanitation of tools, equipment, and hard surfaces is critical, even for spray hoses, pruning tools, wheelbarrows, tarps, vehicles, for boxwood blight management. I had listed here different types of disinfectants with effectiveness against boxwood blight pathogen. Those disinfectants can be used for the food beds when you are entering into the production sites, or cleaning up the tires from moving from one location to the other. When there is a risk of boxwood blight occurring, repeated applications, specifically at 7 or 14-day intervals of fungicides may be necessary. A spray program that includes fungicides with different modes of action is ideal for fungicide-resistant management. Within the boxes genus, some species, varieties, and cultivars are more susceptible than others. Recent promising developments are blight-tolerant hybrids from the Boxwood breeding program in Belgium and 2 new-gene boxwood cultivars, Independence and Freedom, released by Saunders Genetics. They are promising, and these new cultivars are useful tools in disease management, and they need to be integrated into the best management practices. Early diagnostic is very important for timely management of the diseases. If there is an uncertainty concerning causes of abnormal symptoms on the boxwood plants, you can submit a sample to your local university's plant diagnostic laboratory or Tennessee Department of Agriculture. If you have any further questions related with boxwood blight disease and also its management, please contact me or your TDA plant inspectors. Thank you very much.